Where's my journal?
This could be like how to review a trade or something.
Yeah. Y'all be liking my little titles, huh?
I do. Hey, by the way, you misspelled Wednesday and I think Thursday.
Yo, as I type Wednesday, I'm like, I don't think I spelled that right every single time, dude. Like, I'm like, what letter am I missing? Or I'm just needed. I know I spelled that wrong. Damn. Every time I spell that out in my head, I have to pronounce it. I'm like Wednesday because how it's spelled.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting it wrong.
I always spell Wednesday with NES because that's Nintendo Entertainment System. So I always think of Nintendo.
I wish you wouldn't point that out, but yeah, I got.
Dude, I'm gonna go back to this fucking instrument video like a million times.
On this trade, for example, so when I initially put it into my journal, like I just put the time I took it, the time I entered, and the time I exited. And if I don't have time because I have to go to work to like really analyze what happened, once I get back from work, I'll open it up and I'm looking at, okay, I took the trade at 8:03, I exited at 8:18. It was where does it tell me what it was? I bought, so it was a long. Oh, right here, long. So then I go to my my chart, and I'm like, okay, I went long at 2 hour demand. My stop was at 6105. Now in my head right now, I'm like, why was my stop 6105? I don't know. Then I go to my next chart, which is NQ, SPY, and VX, and I'm like, okay, was NQ doing something similar to my at 8 a.m.? At 8 a.m., NQ was making a higher low. ES, I can't really tell, but it looks like it was at the 2 hour demand. VX looks like it was maybe up here somewhere in the above the channel, but it was kind of like not popping off. It might have been under pre-market high when I took it, to be honest, or next to it. Then I'll either replay Bookmap at this area, which I had to do this time because I knew that I was looking at this outlier 9696108, but I didn't have a screenshot of where my entry was. So I was like, fuck, I don't even know how I entered. So I replayed Bookmap and I ended up realizing that when market came down into 6108, which was my demand zone, and it was where that outlier appeared, I was looking for buying to be supported above 6108. So market came down into 61, a little beneath 105, and then it popped up above 6108 with somewhat aggressive buying compared to what was happening here in these areas. And then when it pulled back on some weak selling, I seen an opportunity to get long here with some buying that stepped in, and I was like, this is my key level. This is what I was waiting for. We're at my demand. The confirmations are on my side, so I tried it long with my stop. I still don't know why my stop was 6105.
See, that's something you can note down and be like what the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, see, like I might have honestly just been like, I need 3 points away at least. So I might have done that, which is not good. I wouldn't recommend that. But I did do that here. And then when the market pushed up the 9 points? Oh, no. Oh, see, this is where I said I think I missed the opportunity long in the earlier part of the day. The 6108, 969 lots, it popped up, and you can see here it pulled back. You can see this little red bubble, and it never went lower, and then it created that pop. So I didn't use it the first time, and I ended up using it the second time. But when it did it the second time, I coulda got faked out because it did drop through it and this aggressive buying happened, but I wanted to see the market hold above 6108 and stay above. So when it did this and popped up and then came back on somewhat of a weak selling, I thought it would be a good opportunity because it looked like it was gonna hold above 6108, and it was above this, like, um
Heavy volume.
volume profile. Yeah, volume. So the fact that it was holding above this
SVP.
gave me, yeah, SVP gave me some confidence. And then it popped up 9 points. I ended up moving my stop when it was at 7 points. It pulled back and stopped me out at break even around right here. Um, so in my journal, I wrote this. Oh, where's my journal? Oh, I'm on. In my journal, I wrote against aggressive selling, better execution. And then on my actual journal on my notebook, I put let 9 point winner stop me at break even. And then I put may have got greedy going for higher target against intraday trend, against the intraday trend, which was the aggressive selling, and we had started getting into lower volume here. Not necessarily really low, but the volume was decreasing. And then I also put both NQ and ES held at key support, which you can see here. Key support, 45-minute demand on NQ, and ES was at key support, 2-hour demand. NQ was the weaker instrument, was holding support and making a higher low. So it was the weaker instrument holding at support. When it pulled back, it made a higher low. And also the I started seeing NQ a little stronger here. So like it was like the green candle looked very strong on a weaker instrument. So I was like, okay, this is showing strength. And that's basically where I'm like, okay, I have an understanding that I messed up by may possibly being a bit greedy on this trade. Since it pushed 9 points and uh my stop could have been chosen, just the way I made my decision about my stop wasn't what I like to do. So those are kind of my two errors here. Um, and that's it. But I do
Cool.
that for every trade. Like I'll review my trade like that.
Yeah. You've got to go back to it, man.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly.
For sure. I feel like I do a version of that, but I know it would be more better for my brain to like review it this way. Like just it's like another review. Like why not? I'm not saying I'm against this. It's more I would there's no way I'm against this. It's just I am doing some sort of version of this in my process, but I also don't have this program. I just do it off my screenshots and
But are you doing it like right after or like later in the week you're coming in and looking at that? Because if you do it right after, it's not gonna stick as good
yeah.
because you had such a long session already where like you're mentally drained from just being in trading that once you ride it and if you look over it while you ride it, you're not going to have the same clarity as if you came back to that same exact trade and reviewed it either later in the day or the following day, however it may have been.
For sure.
So,
I get that. That makes sense. Damn.
like one thing I tend to do honestly is either Friday night or before we do this review, I'll like wake up an hour earlier and just do my own review of my own trades. So when I come talk to you guys, I already know kind of what I want to talk about just based off of things that I did.
Damn. That makes sense. My brother teaches at Cal State LA, and he said before any lecture that he gives the class, him and another teacher in the same department, they'll like FaceTime or Discord each other, and then they'll literally go over their lecture with each other and then go to their class.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, makes sense.
Damn. It's a lot.
It's all about being prepared, man.
Yep. That's basically all I got. I mean, we didn't really review Bookmap this time, but
I don't think we need. Do we have like 7 months of Bookmap reviews? And not that we can't use
Yeah.
it, but like maybe
Oh,
it was
shit.
it's good that we changed it today, or like whatever we're talking about, because yeah, these are things that we talked about a lot of stuff today that I don't tend to review my own or fully understand.
Yeah, same. Yeah, we can switch it up. I like switching it up.
I know Gabe loves the weaker instrument video, so
Fuck, man. I'm gonna listen to shit so many times.
figure that
I'm
out,
gonna
Gabe.
cringe so hard when I'm like, oh, I get it.
Figure that out and explain it to me, and I'll keep giving you guys TOS shortcuts.
Oh, real
I've
quick.
been using that shit, but
I know I've been using it too. It's hard to do it on Sundays because they kind of put this news out on Monday morning, I think, so we can't really see it as clean here. But what I like to do, you know how when you came to my house, Gabriel, you were like, "What are you doing?" And I was looking
yeah.
at the news for the week. What I like to do is kind of go into the week knowing what days will be decent days with some volume. So like this being Monday and then Tuesday, in my head I was like, if there's not much volume, I'm open with like not trading this day specifically. Then this day had FOMC minutes. I had to go and see what this actually was because I was like, is this going to be some choppy day? But then I realized that it's not super. It can cause some chop, which actually Wednesday was a choppy day in the morning session, but then it rallied crazy in the afternoon. Um, but then on this day, could have some volatility due to jobless claims. On Friday, definitely could have some volatility due to PMI, existing home sales, and consumer sentiment. And then Friday ended up being super heavy downside volume. Um, but like, kind of just go into your week having an idea of what the 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 volatility can be, or say you know that FOMC meetings is on Thursday this week, then you know like okay, I'm not going to go into the week expecting too much prior to FOMC meeting.
How'd you get the Pacific time? I'm on Eastern time.
Oh, I just changed that recently. Right here it says change time zone.
No way.
Oh shit. Okay,
And
cool.
then you could change it to Pacific time.
Sweet.
I forgot about that. My bad. I just found it this week though.
Hell yeah.
That's it though. That's it for me. I
What do you
did. I
guys
have
know,
been
man?
working on.
Mhm.
My bad. I have been
Go
working
for
on
it.
this here. This is a just. I don't know why I'm doing this actually, but I put why do we invest to have more
I
buying
can't see
power in
anything.
the future. What do you mean?
Oh, I thought you were showing us something.
Oh,
You said I'm working on this here.
it should be showing something. Oh, that's why. Hold up.
Oh, sick! I just changed the time. That's way better.
Wait, no, way better, right?
I literally do the math in my head every time I'm writing the
Me
time.
too, man. It's so annoying.
I just go, all right,
Yeah.
9:45. So I go 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I asked ChatGPT what are the most common investment vehicles in the U.S., and it said real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, options and futures, cryptocurrency, commodities, private equity and venture capital, 401k and IRAs. And then, what was it? If you have smaller capital and want the best potential returns, the following investment vehicles stand out: stocks, options trading, futures trading, cryptocurrency, small cap and penny stocks, but that's speculative growth, and then ETFs, and then I put a star next to the ones that I feel like are the ones, um someone who's not trading is, like, more long term and use, which would be stocks, cryptocurrency, and then just ETFs, which are safer alternative. Uh, but then I'm trying to figure out the best way to, like, split it. Like, say you have a certain amount monthly coming in, like, how much to put to your wants, how much to put to your savings, and how much to put to your needs. I'm still trying to break that down.
Dude,
It's just some shit I'm working on.
I gotta, dude, I want to show you what I've been working on because I've been working on this little lecture on how to get like new people who don't know anything about trade. I mean, investing, not necessarily
Oh,
trading.
shit.
People who don't know shit about investing, and like I'm trying to come up with like a course to convince people who are like hesitant. And it's kind of like the whole purpose behind my course is to get those hesitant people to understand what they're hesitant about and then make them realize, oh, this isn't that hard and I'm just being hesitant because of whatever personal reasons. But the way I explain it, it kind of just makes them look at it as like, oh, this is kind of a no-brainer. I'm trying to get them to understand that it's a no-brainer and your hesitancy is just in your head and you're just kind of like, I don't got time for that. I don't want to do that. I got different things to worry about. But when I finally explain what the market actually is to them, then I figured some methods that make them realize, oh, like this is just part of everyday life. Where a lot of people in my family just think it's corrupt or just think it's the government, and like they just go old school with it, like, nah, I don't want to do that stuff. And then I'll tell them, or do you have a 401k at your job? And they're like, yeah. And then I explain to them what a 401k is, and then I let them know that's exactly what the S&P 500 is, and then it kind of blows their minds. Like I've seen it happen 3 times already with 3 family members.
That's like,
Are you are you done with the presentation? Maybe you can show it to us
I
next
have
weekend or something.
I have a version of the presentation because I made it specifically for my sister because she was coming to visit and I was going to explain it to her, and I was like, how do I tail this? How do I get this ready for her? And
Mm.
a lot of it was meant. A lot of the stuff she had questions about was already in my explanation, and I was like, oh, perfect. Like I did tailor it right. She was just eager and was asking questions like from the jump. But I mean, I could show you something of it, and then I've been wanting to take
it is
this.
on YouTube.
Oh, it's not.
Oh yeah,
I gotta make it like a video presentation, but right now it's like images and explanations. Like
PowerPoint.
it's on a Word document, and I haven't gotten it ready for like presentation, like on a PowerPoint or something.
When it's ready, you gotta show it to us on the reviews.
Yeah, like well, what Eric is showing us right now made me be like, oh shit, like that's a detailed version of one of my like chapters. I'd say like, let's call it a chapter, but I have like certain categories that I try to break down for them, and then Eric is just more detailed in one of my chapters with what he just showed us.
I just get bored at work and I start doing it at work. What are you guys working on this week?
You already know what the fuck I'm working on. Fuck that.
I'm just paying attention to the weaker instruments.
Just going into what next week could be like as far as market context. I want to see what happens if market pops up back into this area. I don't know if there's a supply zone there. I haven't looked yet. But just because it was a wedge prior, obviously I want to see what happens here too, because why is that important? Kind of just the way it may break, honestly. It may come down into this 3 hour demand if there's nothing else that I have here.
When do you guys start for the next weekend? Like right after this or on Sundays?
Sundays.
Depends. Sometimes I'll do it right after this if I don't have anything going on. But Sunday's a lot too. But I do want to see what happens up here at this retest. Does sellers stay in control, or do buyers pop up and hold above this? That would be interesting. Or do we keep selling down here? So I think this could go either way, up or down. I'm trying to see 90 minutes. Yeah, see, I feel like this 30-minute demand may hold or it's gonna break.
The only two options.
Aristotle posted that after after Friday's sell off, Monday usually continues to sell off.
See, that's possible to come down here again. I could see that. Even Bitcoin got weak
Yeah.
over it. It was like at 99 and then it dropped again.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it continues to the downside, damn, things are gonna get on discount again. And Q's like Nvidia's like at 134.
No one wants to buy AMD still, or what?
Hey, what's
I
his
guess not.
Rashad or Troy said that AMD is at the lowest point.
Oh, really?
That's what he was saying on
I
Market
did see
Mondays.
that.
What does he mean by that?
He just thinks it's. I'm assuming he thinks it's going to reverse from here because he's like, "Yep, it's at the lowest point. It's going to reach." He said that like verbatim. He's like, "It's at its lowest point that it's going to reach."
Yeah. I always like Rashad.
I mean, if Monday's another sell-off,
I think it's bearish as fuck. I think it's gonna hit 100. It broke below the channel on the daily, a rising channel.
Right here, 102, a monthly demand.
Yeah, I got that one. But I'm thinking the psych level.
Damn, Monday could be another drop. With Nvidia coming down into this 3-hour demand, potentially finding support for upside.
Yeah.
Apple's getting strong again. What's Microsoft? Microsoft been choppy for a long time.
Yeah, it sucks, bro, because there's Apple and Microsoft are my best investments, but they're just such at a high price right now that I'm like, fuck, like it's hard to find a moment to put money in it unless I see like a very dramatic drop.
Hey, when does stock split?
I just think
because I want to get into Microsoft and Apple.
I think they're at a decent price where they probably wouldn't need to split, but because it's somewhat affordable, it's usually like the company decides to do that when they want new investors, and they're like, well, no one can afford us at 1,000, so let's split it. That's what Nvidia did.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's probably gonna get to 1,000. You know, Chipotle used to be at 900, and now it's at 50 because it's split.
Tesla was the same way. Tesla did the split during the pandemic.
Yeah, I remember that.
At what price?
I think they were in the 800s.
It was 1,000 something. Oh yeah, they were in the 800s. You're right.
That's crazy.
Dad, this is Tesla right now?
What?
Oh no, I thought I saw 800 again. I was like, is it back in the 800?
Shit.
No, it was like 400, I think.
Yeah, it was in the 337. Yeah, never mind. I think you were zooming
for me, next week, I'm just continuing to focus on market context, that having the outlier, and there's one more thing. Oh, wait. Oh, and the NQ and ES. Those three things are still my main focus. Market context, looking for the 1,000 lot outlier at my key level, and strength and weakness of NQ and ES.
Hell yeah, that's what I'm working on too. What about you, Eloy?
It's the same. Market context is like big on me right now, so I'm continuing to find ways. Like I'm zooming out more on my charts, looking at like the dailies, looking at a bunch of stuff just to try to develop some context. Even this past week, I'm normally zoomed in on the 5-minute, like pretty close, and maybe a little bit of the pre-market. But now I've been kind of like zooming it out to where I see like the previous day also, because I just find it interesting to read some context. And then
that helps.
I'm slowly like, obviously I need to work on the weaker instrument situation, so I'm going to continue to monitor that. But it might even make me not want to take trades because I'm like, I think I want to figure that out before I even start taking trades again. And
I
then
think, damn, that's crazy you say that. Because I feel like the month where I didn't take any trades, I was looking at that too. I didn't emphasize it much, but I was like in the back of my head, it was something I was paying attention to. So it's taken me some time to like feel comfortable with it also.
and then just reviewing my trade, like finding a different, like to me this is part of tweaking my routine because I already have my routine of what I do every single day, and maybe like try to squeeze in a moment where I could review after like maybe a couple of hours off the market, and then find a moment to get back in to just let me review real quick, and then find out what that review system looks like for me.
Not try, do that shit.
You know, trend trading for dummies, man. It's right there, right there.
Oh yeah, trend trading for
And
dummies.
and it's not $400. I don't know where that it's like, I don't know. Let me see. It was like $20.
You bought the actual book or an e-book?
Nah, I buy the actual books. I don't like ebooks that much.
I was gonna say,
But do you, man? Is that it?
Yeah, market context.
tight,
Strength and weakness.
tight.
Yes, sir.
On the real quick on the playlists, do you guys have to scroll down to go find the most recent videos, or are they usually at the top?
At the top.
Yeah.
Just because I was dealing with something on that where I had to manually put them at the top every time.
Oh,
But
alright,
cool. Cool, boys.
For shorty. You would
Alright.
like stick to your rules.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Peace out.
All right.
Peace.